Hi, this is Paul from S2T Tennis.
Stephen here, hello.
And this is the third podcast here in Dubai, and we've got quite a lot far too much even to discuss.
Oh yes.
So let's get the ball rolling. I'm pretty sure that people don't want to listen to us witter on about nothing. So we'll start very, very quickly with our updates on Miami. Where do you want to begin?
Should we start with Federer? Obviously he lost. Big match to Kokkinakis, something that I sort of half predicted in the last podcast.
Absolutely, I didn't call that in the slightest bit. I actually did. I did do a video where I thought he wouldn't get to the semis, but not a chance did I think Kokkinakis would beat him.
We're not very good with our predictions, are we?
Are you joking? That would be the first I've got wrong so far.
Out of two.
On air as well, unlike you. So
I just think. Looking at Federer in this tournament, I noticed in the build-up, I'm sure some of you would have seen it, the pictures of him swimming in the sea with his kids and in the pool. That's not something we normally see with Federer. I just don't know how much was he in it.
Yeah, I can understand that. And at the end of the day, I think last year when he got the 2,000 points, he got the Indian Wells, he got the Miami, he would never have expected that.
No.
4,000 points in the first five tournaments because he lost in Dubai. But I think at the end of the day, he knows he's lost the #1 ranking now. We'll do it at the beginning of next week. I don't think it's an issue because Nadal's got. I calculated it, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more next week. 4,680 points to defend on clay. Wow. So he's going to win pretty much everything again. Yeah. Which we always say, I write him off. I've probably written that rapper off 10 times, but there's no chance on earth that he can regain 4,680 points on clay this season.
I think it's funny that now you can become world #1 without playing.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to win the #1 ranking. It's just who's going to lose it now. Those guys are so high.
I think it's something again which people don't really understand about the system of rankings points and how at the beginning of the week the equivalent week from last year they lose the points, etc., etc. So in a nutshell, Federer won 1,000 points last year in Miami. He didn't get to the semis or the finals this year, so he loses so many points. I think he's going to lose about 900 points. That puts him then below Nadal. Nadal only last year, I think he didn't even play. Did he play Miami last year? I think he pulled that after Indian Wells, didn't he? But Nadal didn't have any points to really defend, so he's probably going to lose 100 points, and that means that Federer will go below Nadal come Monday morning.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a big loss.
No,
he'll be I think Federer will be #1 probably, I reckon, by late April. Because I just can't see Nadal. He's not even played, remember. But anyway, look, I always say this. I've said it so far. I don't want to keep talking about Federer and Nadal. Let's move on to other people. Joanna Konta.
Great win. Looking good.
Looking very good. She got Venus. Venus last night. Did you see that match?
5-love up in the first set. Lost the next 7 games.
But then, did you see Kiki Burns? Kiki Burns, I don't know if she wasn't in Dubai last year. She was here last year. She was lovely, but she was really sick. Really not feeling very well. And she came to help with the Kids Days down at the WTA Kids Days, and she was lovely, but she played terribly. I was watching that match and I was cringing because she was going for such an early ball all the time, and when she got to match point, I think Venus saved 3 or 4 match points.
I didn't see it.
She only saved really 1 match point because Kiki Burns didn't actually keep the ball in the other points. So it was a bit of unfortunate there, but good on Venus for staying there. I think Konta's going to have too much for her. I think she's defending champion as well, isn't she? Yeah. So I think she's going to have too much for her. Dimitrov, come on, where do you want to go?
I think he is so disappointing. He must be one of the biggest underachievers in tennis, in the men's game, ever. I mean, he's got everything. The game, all the comparisons to Federer, physicality, he's a great specimen, but he just doesn't get it done. Why?
I mean, without meaning to sound too controversial, I would actually put Team France in that bracket because, Gasquet, Monfils, Simon, where else? Songa, And look, going further back, since Henri Lecomte won French Open, they've had nobody win a slam in the men's. Women's, they've done all right. They had Bartoli, they had Mauresmo, Pierce. But the French have been the underachievers. But I agree with what you're saying. But for me, still the greatest underachiever has got to be Monfils for me.
No.
Come on, why?
But he's never really been close to winning.
Yeah, but that's
he's
the problem.
talented and he's got, creativity-wise, he's a showman. I don't think he's in the same category as Dimitrov.
There's nothing that Monfils can't do on the court except for win a slam. It seems. But I mean, again, that's a great topic. Guys, if you want to put your opinions down, that'd be wonderful. For me, I mean, I know I've obviously got quite a few French friends that would think that I'm having a bit of a crack at them. But yeah, I mean, when you think of all the superb players, I mean, Pierre lost in 2 or 3 slam finals as well, going further back. So gifted, so beautiful, actually, the way that they play as well. But mentally, don't seem to be able to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
But coming back to Dimitrov, I think that since he didn't really hit, it deflected off Goffin's racket into Goffin's iron and seemingly has caused quite a serious injury, enough to pull Goffin out of Rotterdam during that match. I think that's had an effect on him. He came to Dubai sick. He wasn't playing. He wasn't very well. He was sick actually in Rotterdam final, which is where Federer killed him. But he's actually got an 11-6 record, and we're just about to go into April.
I just think at the end of last year, broke into the top 3, Masters title, won obviously the ATP World Tour final,
Which we were at.
It was his time. Now is his time. She should have been looking at Federer losing, Djokovic going out and thinking, this is my tournament. But he just, again, who knows, maybe we don't know what illness he has. We never know the other side of the coin. But I just always am disappointed. You just know when you watch Dimitrov in a big match where there's something on it, he just doesn't quite get there. He just doesn't quite make it. Maybe, it must be mentally. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been criticised for being a little bit too playboyish. Obviously his very attractive girlfriend Sharapova. He's been out with that culture. Yeah, the pussycat doll. So he's got a reputation from that side of things. Yeah. But when he won the Masters last year, which, like I said, we were at, he was unbelievable, absolutely incredible. But like you said, he's not really delivering. I had him as the favourite for Australia. And Kyrgios, no, he beat Kyrgios. He got, I forgot who he got taken out by now. But he got taken out. Oh, was it Edmund? Kyle Edmund, yeah. Who got beaten by Tiafoe.
Francis Tiafoe.
Played well, actually. Tiafoe.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Francis Tiafoe.
I don't like that forehand. I think it's a bit ugly the way he hits the forehand, but
I think you're ugly.
Hello. Let's not go there again. Then moving on to the women's a little bit more. Puig won again against Sakari, who I've got a soft spot for both of them. Sakari was lovely in Dubai, absolutely charming. Puig came to Dubai last year. She was okay, but she got killed quite early in Dubai. She's just one of these players that when she's got a soft spot for the event, i.e. the Olympics, i.e. Miami, she delivers it. I love her serve. I think Puig's serve is one of my favourite serves on the female tour. I would say that Stosurs is up there as well. I love Stosurs, but I think she beat Stosur as well, didn't she? In the first round.
I think Miss Svitolina is looking very strong.
I've got Svita there. For me, Svitolina at the moment is the favourite. Kvitova is coming through quite dangerously, and the later she goes on in any tournament, she's dangerous because that's for me. I've said this time and time again. I've said it on air. I've said it on TV, on radio. For me, if Kvitova is on the top of her game, no one can touch her, and I include Serena in that. I think the same as well in the men's. If they're all playing at their best, if they could, and again, good topic for argument here. If they're all playing at their best, I think Wawrinka is the best. So there we go. That's an interesting one for you to start. So in the women's, I'd say Kvitova. If they're all playing their best tennis, Kvitova, because her serve is a joke. Her serve is just an absolute joke. she's not going to lose that serve. But then you can look at people's returns, whatever. But I would go Kvitova and Wawrinka. If everyone was playing at the top of their game, they'd be the two that come through. You can have a think about that, and definitely you guys can have a think about it. I'm conscious of time. We're not going to do what we did last time. I want to talk about the Wozniacki tweet. It was brought up as a question from one of our subscribers. Courtney, thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Gosh, yeah, happy birthday. Unlike him, he's going to turn around and say that I was 50 when I was 44. You're 21 again, yeah? Wozniacki's tweet.
I think it's such a difficult scenario. She has to have proof. Now, if you're going to make such big claims, obviously death threats, you've got to have proof. You know, where's the source come from? So she's been told by her family. How good is their English? I just think without proof, you can't make these allegations. I'm sorry, Caroline, obviously I'm a big fan, but
I think Wozniacki, though, one of the things that I find frustrating about tennis in general, or so we say the fans within tennis, is that everyone kind of gets on the back of people for certain things. And with Wozniacki, she's got a reputation of being a bit of a complainer. You know, again, she's got that kind of Spice Girl image. You know, it was all about the image, etc., etc. She's done the photo shoots, which we're going to talk about again in about 2 minutes. But I think one of the things that makes Davis Cup so unique is the crowd.
Yeah.
And I love it. I've been there. I think it was 95 or 97. No, 97 I think it was, when USA played against Britain, Greg Wozniacki, Tim Henman, in the NEC in Birmingham. And I was one of the rowdy ones. I'd been kicked out. I don't mind admitting that. I would have been kicked out.
What did you say?
I was screaming. I was awful. Awful. But you know, you just get it, you're representing your country. Now, you know, there's a lot of pride, obviously, the Puerto Rico connection, etc. There's a lot of national pride. There's a lot of political issues regarding it, and you know, kind of, is it attached to the United States or is it its own country? I'm pretty sure the United States assumes that it's part of, you know, it's one of theirs.
everybody belongs to the United States.
Yeah, I mean, they are the world police. Doing such a great job.
Political as well on this podcast.
Wow, I didn't think I'd go there. But I have to say, I think that all she's done is tweet about that. She's been very respectful for Puig. Puig has also been very respectful back. I don't see the problem. It gives us something to talk about. I like the fact that you have controversy because it gives people something to latch onto. And the women's game needs that.
Yeah.
It really does need that. It needs that kind of issue.
There's controversy, but then I think this is a little bit bigger. This goes beyond tennis.
I'm completely, but what I'm getting at is Wozniacki's, don't know what that spit that is, on camera as well, great. I'm getting old, losing my teeth, but you know, Wozniacki has just come out there, she's said what she feels, she'll move on, she's great. It just comes across as a bit of sour grapes, which is what people are getting onto. Well, I don't like that.
James Blake has come out and said they've picked up nothing on cameras, nothing on the audio. The security guards around have not heard anything. So I just think it's a little bit of much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing, yeah, right. And then this leads me then to the Judy Murray tweet. This is going to get controversial, isn't it? Oh, look at
It's
you.
going to go out.
Yeah, I knew you would.
No.
Right, okay, for those who didn't know, Feliciano Lopez has been pictured in Vanity Fair, I think, wearing a very white t-shirt, which is a wet t-shirt, and Judy Murray has got a big soft spot for Feliciano Lopez. She's made it very obvious, and that's fine, absolutely fine. Even her tweet, in my books, is absolutely fine. Love it. I love the banter, I love everything about it. However, my question, and it is just a question.
What was her tweet?
The tweet said, not usually a fan of wet t-shirts. Okay, with a picture of the Vanity Fair cover. And Feliciano Lopez is a very handsome guy. He's one that I don't like my wife going anywhere near when we're at the tournament, but let's not go there. But you know, nice guy, great guy. And she's come out and said that. My issue is very simply, if somebody prominent in the tennis stratosphere, male, let's say Wozniacki's dad, posted, for example, a picture of Eugenie Bouchard's swimsuit thing.
I haven't seen that. Is it
Oh
good?
yeah, I'll bet you haven't, yeah. And you don't have her on Instagram, no.
Of course not.
But if he posted something with a little sort of funny little comment, he would be torn apart. And you know he would be. And it would be, you're looking at her as an object and this and that. I accept it's tongue-in-cheek and it's funny and it's great. But why are we in this world where it's all right for Judy Murray and seemingly no one said a big deal about it?
I didn't even know about it until Paul.
A friend of mine contacted me and said, what do you think on this? And I said my bit, which is absolutely fine as long as guys can do it as well, which I haven't got a problem with. But obviously we don't want to look at there's the issue about whether or not you're looking at the females as symbols or should dare I say it, sexualising. Well, what's Judy Murray done?
Well, yeah,
what's she just done?
I think it depends on the scenario of the picture. So obviously that is a modelling picture. So yeah, you should be allowed to make a comment. Obviously he's not taking a modelling picture to look ugly. I think it's just the world we live in, isn't it? It's always a tricky situation. I agree with you. I've got nothing wrong in what she said. It's just, if the shoe is on the other foot, would it be accepted?
You see, I got into trouble, I did, because you were there. I got into trouble last year when I said that I felt that the WTA were wrong in sexualising the female players.
What were the specific words you
I
used?
think I said they were a disgrace and that it was a joke that they would sexualise these strong and incredibly athletic ladies.
On live radio.
Yeah.
So there's no going back from that one.
Yeah,
It was funny though.
but I still stand by it.
Yeah.
They have a hot 100 for goodness sake. And I think they've stopped it, by the way. Certainly not because of me. They did a hot 100. Now, okay, I haven't got a problem with that. I'm all for it. Do it for the guys as well. That's fine. But the problem is that in the situation that we were on the radio, etc., if I comment on that, oh yeah, she was number 6 in the Hot 100, I'm torn apart. And I just think that it's wrong. I'm sure we'll talk about this in the future. I do not agree that girls should have coaches on court.
Definitely shouldn't.
Why?
It completely undermines everything about tennis.
Yeah, and it implies that the women, these incredible athletes, and I can't remember ever seeing Serena or Venus ever doing it. And I'm not their biggest fan, but they've never asked for the umpire, for the coach to come on court. But you've got these guys coming on the court now, and it was nice that we saw Kazakina's coach saying the nice things, etc., etc. But I watched Keely Burden's coach come on 4 times yesterday.
4 times?
Yeah, 4 times. First set, second set, beginning of the third set, and then the middle of the third set. It's just garbage. And the whole point of tennis is it's gladiatorial. Can you imagine going into flipping gladiator and hang on, tigers, wait. Speak to my coach about how I'm going to kill you. Come on.
I think it just loses, again, the beauty of tennis at all ages and levels is it gives you an ability to work out a problem.
Problem solving.
Problem solving. You take that away, you've lost a key ingredient to this beautiful game. I'm dead against it.
It's frustrating, and I'm hoping that people will comment. Again, it's like one of these things that, when I said that, I was kind of slated. And I come back, I'd even put it, it's mildly associated with the pregnancy issue. Comments that I had were about, people should be able to play no matter what, doesn't matter if they're pregnant. Okay, I don't have a problem if they're going to play pregnant. However, Nick Kyrgios turned up at Wimbledon, injured, won £36,000 and got torn apart because he played injured, right? If you're pregnant and you're 4 months pregnant, as Mandy Miller was, you are not entering Wimbledon to do anything else other than get the money. So why is it okay for Mandy Manella, at 4 months pregnant, to go there saying, I'm pregnant by the way, play the singles and doubles, win I think 4 games in total, right? In total, in singles and doubles, win I think 4 or 5 games, right? And then no one bats an eyelid. But Kyrgios And he always jokes about this, about how whatever he does, he always gets slated for it. He does it, admits that he's completely injured, but he just wants to do it. I think he donated the money to charity, by the way, because people don't really, they only want to pick out the bad bits about him. 36,000 in his back pocket, boom. That's what I don't like about this whole double standards, and I wrote it here, double standards. Anyway, please, more. This is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
We want to start a conversation, we want to start debates.
I think I'm just interested on anybody else's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Every opinion is right in my eyes.
Well, that's because,
Except yours. But yeah, it's just, this is what it's all about.
Right, Steve, I'm excited about this. I've got...
Paul Sheaves, you've made Paul Espy's day, because we are going to talk about strings, string tension, racket technology. Now, I don't know if you're aware, I'm going to jump in a little bit so he's not too modest. Paul is the only master racket technician in the whole of the UAE. Basically, that means he's the biggest geek about tennis rackets, the composition of tennis rackets, strings, the history, you name it, he does know it. And he has paid me to say that, by the way.
I was going to say.
That's about as nice as I can give an introduction.
Well, thank you very much for that, Steve. That's very kind of you. This is a topic that I could go on for hours, as you know, and I'm not intending to. What I'm hoping to do is just give a bit of a tip or a bit of information, and then each week maybe just add a little bit more. So the thing that I want to talk about today is the kind of the new generation of strings, which are the polys and the multi-filaments. So I've brought two of our favourite strings, in particular that one, which is the Solinco Hyper G, which is a co-poly, 4th generation co-poly string. I'll talk about that in a minute. And Solinco Vanquish, which is a multi-filament. Right.
What's the difference between polyester and multi-filament?
Okay, so where I want to go with this is that the game has changed so much over the last few years, and when Gustavo Kuerten won his first ever French Open, he was the first player to ever win a slam using polyester. Okay, he was actually using Luxlon Big Banger, and everybody apparently after their matches with him were complaining and demanding that he'd be kicked out because they were not happy with the way that it affected the change of the ball. So where I'll start with this is that it used to be there was natural gut. When you remember Sampras or Henman and people like that, they had natural gut in their strings. That means the string is basically thousands of strands taken from the guts of what is now a bull, a certain type of bull in France, actually.
Did it used to be cats?
It used to be cat, then it moved to sheep gut, okay? And I'm not going to go through the whole process of how it's made and how lovely and unpleasant that is.
Don't smell.
Yeah, don't see it. Actually, it's got quite nice on it. So it was that, and it is the most unique and special feel that you can ever have. If you've never played with natural gut, my suggestion is at some point, every tennis player should play with a whole bed of natural gut within the rackets. It's very special. Here in Dubai, it's a bit of a nightmare because obviously the humidity and the sand, it just ruins the string. But anyway, so at that point, kind of when we were talking late 90s, the game was obviously changing quite dramatically. Rackets were coming that were bigger heads, etc., so wider string patterns. And when you use multi-filaments or natural gut, or even synthetic gut, what you find is that when you're hitting the ball, and I've brought my two things here, when you're hitting the ball, okay, and you're putting the amount of spin that these guys are putting on, it changes the racket strings. So basically, this starts happening. Let me do that. Okay, so as you can see now, the string now is deformed, and this will happen, say, like this, and you'd be in the middle of a 20-shot racket, so a 20-shot play on clay, and now when you hit the ball with such a wide open pattern, you're going to create more spin. So you don't know that because you don't know how far the strings have moved. So Gustavo Kuerten and subsequently Nadal, okay, wanted to have a string that didn't deform on contact with the amount of spins that they were putting on. And and Big Banger was the answer. Luxilon came in with Big Banger, and this isn't Big Banger. This is actually just a variation of it. This is vocal cyclone. Okay, and basically what happens with polyester is it snaps back. So you'll hit the ball, and I'll see if I can do this at the back, and it'll deform like that. Okay, but then it snaps back. So the string bed is always the same. So you can actually gauge your shots far more consistently based on that theory. Okay, it has nothing to do with the durability of the string. That's not why the pros use poly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is why the average person uses poly. They just want something to last. But there is no worse string in terms of the resilience than a polyester. Okay? And the polyester basically, it dies very, very quickly. So as you know, all the pros have their rackets restrung every day. Okay? For us to do that, it would get very, very costly. So if you're using a polyester, which I wouldn't, and I know where I'm going to go with this. If a normal person like you, me, Paul Sheaves, thanks for asking the question, is going to use a polyester, blend it with a multi-filament, because polyester strings, just by nature, are stronger, harsher, and they're more abrasive on your body. So people tend to get tennis elbow or shoulder injuries if they're not brought up with these strings. If you're heavy spin, yeah, you want to try and use a little bit more poly, but I still would suggest hybriding it at the moment. But what I wanted to do was start slowly. So I'm just saying then that is the reason why pros are using poly now and not just all natural gut. These guys, Nadal, could use natural gut throughout his life, always using. In fact, when he moved,
He changed.
yeah, when he moved to Babolat,
Not many people.
no. When Nadal moved from, I think he was with Prince, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
When he was a junior, he was with Prince, and when he was moved to Babolat, it was because they promised him natural gut the whole time. They just said, we'll give you free natural gut. And if you're a 13, 14-year-old lad, you're told that, which natural gut is like $50 a restring minimum.
Yeah.
So, you know, he obviously jumped on that, and then over the course of the development of him, he went from Big Banger to RPM Blast, which is pretty close to this. This is a more developed string. The Hyper-G is, we're a big fan of Hyper-G. I have to blend it with the Vanquish because I'm a big wuss and I'm not used to it. I'm old.
I use full Solinko because I'm good.
No, it's Solinko. That's still Solinko.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Sorry, get the right thing. But then also I don't put that much spin on the ball as well. So yeah, I don't really necessarily need it. But yeah, that's my thing. Now I wanted to finish up with just asking a bit of a question and see if we can get some people who send in some answers. So, my question is this: you should know the answer to this.
Oh.
If you don't, I'm going to kill you because you did it last year. Right. This year at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Championships, obviously we had the WTA and the ATP event.
Yeah.
Over the course of those two weeks, actually 3 weeks because we start early with the ladies arriving for qualies, etc. Over the course of the 3 weeks, one person had her string far tighter than any of the guys and any of the other girls. Okay? Can they name which player on the WTA tour that was playing in Dubai this year has her racket strung the tightest? And see if you can actually guess in kilos or pounds where she was, because she uses actually some natural gut as well. She has, I think she has value power and natural gut. Or
I remember.
It's Big Banger and natural gut, isn't it?
Don't give too much away. Don't go on Google and cheat as well.
Well, you know they are going to anyway.
The
But
first person with the correct answer, Paul will give some string away.
and when you're in Afghanistan or something like that, I don't know how I'm going to send it there. But if you come and collect it, I'll give you a set of Hyper-G. If there's anybody in the UAE that answers it correctly and hasn't cheated, safe manner, then yeah, I'm quite happy to give them a set of Hyper-G because it's an incredible string.
I would actually like to just point out, on a more serious note actually, Paul is a specialist in strings and rackets, so obviously he works with a lot of juniors, all the way up to top professionals, some of the highest ranked players in the world. John Jules Royer, I'll just drop that in. I know you're always talking about strings, but if you have any questions about a junior, or if you're having any elbow injuries, shoulder injuries, I'm sure he will be more than happy to answer any questions, because most people don't realise actually how important these are in terms of injuries and development. They can hold you back a long time, and unfortunately they can put you out of the game. So if you do have any questions, please, because I've learned a tremendous lot through Paul, and you can as well. So he is a tool, a learning tool, obviously. So I'm sure, please, any questions, fire away.
You've been nice to me today. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Anyway, right. I think we're going to do another one of these this week.
Yeah.
We'll do something. I think what I want to do is I want to get to a point where we can do a Facebook Live ASAP. But just going to shout out to my wife Alicia, who is behind the camera. Looking very angry because she's not going to come in front of the camera. Thank you so much for everything you do, my little Colombian angel that she is. And I'm not going to shout at you. And Joad for always letting us use this.
So Multi-Minds, thank you very much for using this great little studio.
Thanks Christian for letting us use the garden the other day. So those dogs, I can tell you guys, those dogs were at it for 3 hours non-stop. Poor Christian's dog looked like he was going to die.
You've just got a couple of monkeys now.
Yeah, just a couple of them. I'm more of a gorilla.
I'm a chimp.
I'm a gorilla. I'm so big. Anyway, thanks so much.
Enjoy, guys. Bye.
Take care.